Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Breakfast with Brandon. So today's topic is something that I like, and I know all the time the next subject is one of my favorites, but this is one of my favorite topics, and this is one of the most deep social topics that we can expound upon and that I think needs to be addressed. And it's the topic of the oversimplification of our culture, the dumbing down of our culture in almost every aspect of what we do. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to jump right into it. So for instance, police brutality. We all have heard the scenarios that have played out in the media and other people's debates about police brutality, right? In today's age, police brutality, when you think of police brutality, the image that you see is a white officer and a black person. I can't think of the last time I saw a video of a scenario that had different actors in it. So anytime a police officer does anything to a black person, right, wrong, or indifferent, it is automatically reduced to being police brutality simply because of the race difference. That is an example of the oversimplification of our culture because we don't take the time to look at all of the factors that are involved. That really helps us understand the conclusion of what happens. So instead of us thinking that this is race-based, if we actually took our time and said, okay, what was the scenario? What happened? What is the use of force policy? What kind of call for service occurred? What is this officer's background and history? And then the perpetrator, the person who was the victim of this, or actually, if not the victim of it, it was justified use of force on this individual. What was this person doing? What was the origin of this? Was the police called on him, somebody else? Was this a mistake of identity? Or was this person being belligerent, which necessitated the use of force? We have to be able to look at these things, not necessarily in a vacuum, but look at them as isolated situations and not dumb it down and not oversimplify it, because then we miss the entire point. The next topic, and this is a hot topic, and I'm passionate about this topic because it frustrates me to no end. The topic of the wage gap, that somehow women are legally paid less than men, or somehow it's legitimately paid less than men. That, you know, when I was younger, I used to really believe that literally people would go to work, a man to go to work, a woman to go to work, they would literally pay the woman less than they paid the man. And as I became an adult and I realized that, hey, it's a little more to it, it's illegal to do that, then I started digesting the argument, which is what I think we should do. We should take these and we should look at them and we should not dumb it down. So when you look at a scenario of the wage gap, for instance, just say you had a husband and wife. They work on the same job. They obviously get paid the same amount of money coming into the job, more than likely, because it's illegal to do anything other than that, unless you have some reasonable justification like education or something like that. But same education, same background, husband and wife goes into a job. Now, they want to have children. They have children. Obviously, the wife is the only one that can have kids. She stay at home to take care of the kids, nurture the children, and rest her feet because she's carrying another human being inside of her. She may not get an opportunity to work overtime like the husband. Now, the husband wants to provide more, so he works overtime. At the end of the year, he's going to make more than she made. It's not because there's a wage gap. It's because legitimate factors are involved that we should not dumb down and we should really evaluate. The same can occur, and it has also been a situation that I've been involved in, where my child is with me during the summer. We spend a lot of time together. There is no overtime job that I'm going to take while I'm with my son. And you have female employees on our job who do not have children, who are not married and don't have any obligation, or maybe married, but they can dedicate more time to the job than I can. They work overtime, and at the end of the year, they make more than I do. Is that because there's some type of inherent bias against men on the police department? No. When you don't dumb it down and you look at it for what it is, we can come to reasonable conclusions. So I think that we need to start not dumbing things down. We need to continue to expound our minds, our thoughts, so that we can come to reasonable conclusions without looking silly at the end of the day. Thank you guys for joining Breakfast with Brandon. I love the opportunity to speak about things that you guys want to hear. So please go down in the comment section, write your comments, tell me your thoughts. I want to look at them and see what you guys are talking about and how you feel about the topic. Also, make sure you give us topics. We love to talk about things that you want to hear. Thank you guys for coming on. I'll see you next time.